Welcome to the Delmarva Almanac. Each week we connect you to the best of Delmarva. I'm your host, Dana Kester McCabe. Don Cheeseman is a glass artist who makes fused glass sculptures, windows, and jewelry. Don grew up surfing in California, so moving to the beaches of Delmarva in his retirement was like coming home. Before he retired, Don was a baseball coach and high school teacher at Georgetown Preparatory School in Rockville, Maryland. He picked up glass art from his sister in Oregon. Currently, he is most interested in creating projects with fused glass.
I use a technique that's a little bit different than what most people do, although it's becoming pretty popular. I paint with glass. So what I do is I crush glass. I'll heat glass up. I'll heat various types of glass up to around 1350 degrees, drop it in a bucket of cold water. That completely shatters the glass into everything from powder to, quarter-inch chunks of glass. I'll separate it out, and with the powders I'll create certain effects, and with the various other types of pieces they call frit, F-R-I-T, frit, I'll fill in gaps and do various types of things, and then also build up layers as well. So a piece could be a half-inch thick, with various layers and levels of glass, various dimensions built into it. So you can get, you can control the color, you can control the texture, you can do a variety of different things that way. My own work is pretty much abstract, although symbols, I'll do symbols and things of that nature. I made a window for Georgetown Prep, it's a Jesuit school. I made the Jesuit seal. I did one of the Ignatius Loyola seal and the John Carroll seal. He was a very prominent figure in Maryland history. I do at times do figurative stuff. There's a way that you can embed, for instance, you can embed images that you, from photos or in various types of ways, embed images in glass and work from that.
Don has recently done some work collaborating with a Haitian artist who works in metal.
It's a direction I started moving about a year ago, just one of the things I like to do, and I found that it gives me a chance, in a way, to do, fish scales behind the fish scales, to create the fish, because all I'm getting is a skeleton in the metal, and then the undersea scenery, which is really easy to do in glass, because it's clear light coming through it, and it actually looks like water and that sort of various things underneath the sea. I did one of a crane, actually probably a heron, and I did the background scenery at sunset with the marsh. I put the green with the stringers, glass stringers that I could make as well, crushed glass and various types of things going on behind it that you might actually see in a marsh scene. So, that's a lot of fun as well. I just finished, in the background, if you look at my web page, my Facebook page, you'll see a 24-foot window that I did. I was asked to help create a spiritual space, a space that would get people to sort of move, to consider, ponder the deep questions of life and so on and so forth. And, I built this 24-foot window, 18 2x4 panels that are part of this really beautiful space. That's in D.C., Washington, D.C., a little chapel down in D.C., near Catholic University. I've done the Black Madonna image for a small chapel down in D.C., and it's just simple figures of a mother holding a child. It's not super elaborate, it's very simple. And I like to do, if I'm doing figures, I like to do simple figures. The dimensions of glass, when light's coming through, the glass is, just arouses your sense of the spirit in that whole world. And emotions. Some of the topics, some of the things I do for myself are based on my own emotional life. I grew up at the ocean, so I love making things that are associated with the ocean and with water. I make waves. I actually make waves. Waves that are, and they're actually curling over and breaking just a little bit. I surfed for a long time, so I make, I was around people that shaped and made surfboards. I apply the same techniques and I make surfboards. So I learned how to make surfboards by looking at people make surfboards, and I do the same thing. And that's really fun to do. I like doing things like that.
Surfing not only inspires Don's subject matter, it is a practice that has infused his approach to his art.
Every wave is different, so you're improvising and learning every single time you do something. You also have to have tremendous patience, because you're sitting out there waiting. Having the patience to, to put together a really intricate piece, I think, is part of the whole process. Like every piece I make, and this has been true since the very beginning, every piece I make is just prologue to the next piece. It's teaching me something. And as I'm working with this piece, and as I'm seeing glass has unintended consequences, there's no glass artist out there in the world that gets exactly what they intended. You're trying to control it as much as you can at times. Sometimes you're not, but at times you want to have a certain outcome, but there's still going to be something there that process teaches you. You're putting it in an oven, you're cooking it, and there's only so much control you can have over that process, over the outcome. So everything I do teaches me something, and as I'm doing it, this is the part that I like the most, I'm already thinking about how that inspired me to make the next thing that I want to make, or to go in the next direction I want to go in. Not necessarily repeat the process, but to take that and build on it.
Don Cheeseman is currently living and working in Worcester County, where he hopes to build a studio. Find out about his upcoming shows on his Facebook page, which you can get to from our website, delmarvaalmanac.com/arts. Well, that's all for this edition of the Delmarva Almanac. Be sure to follow us on Facebook or Twitter, and next week join us to learn more about our local culture and get connected to our natural wonders. We'd like to thank our community partners, the Friends of Delmarva Public Radio, and our underwriters for their help in bringing this program to you, our audience. If you'd like to become an underwriter for this program, visit delmarvaalmanac.com/support. Our theme music was provided by Brightside Studio. This show has been a Moonshell production. Thanks for listening. Until we meet again, may the rhythms and tides of Delmarva bring you good fortune.